Hey guys, I wanted to talk about is Kendrick Lamar the GOAT? There has definitely been a lot of talk. He is trending, especially after the Super Bowl and the Drake beef. And I wanted to give my take on this situation. Well, one would have to start with how we got here. It appears that before the Super Bowl and before the Drake beef, Kendrick Lamar was considered a GOAT, but not the GOAT. Now, I think a lot of that has to do with the Drake beef initially, because of the whole back and forth narrative and him spewing out narratives that Drake is a pedophile, which are unsubstantiated legally, but they are kind of substantiated socially, as we know that Drake has been accused of entertaining minors through text messages. And there may be evidence of this. I don't know if it's Photoshop or truth, so I will not go into that. But there definitely is that narrative for a lot of people that won the battle between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And I would have to disagree with that point, that he won because of that, because that's not necessarily true, which is why Drake is putting charges, threatening to do a lawsuit, because you cannot go around slandering a person's name if they have not been legally charged or convicted of something of like that. So that is definitely slander. I believe that there has been echoes about this throughout the social media world, and people have just ran off with it. Now, I think more for me, as the case with a lot of the FBA community in America, Kendrick kind of got Drake with the whole, he's still calling us some slaves. You know, that whole line, that pretty much, I think, got it for a lot of us, along with the whole talking to the minor thing. But that, for the most part, took him over the top. If it had not been for the conscious part of Kendrick Lamar, the black conscious part, he would probably not have the support that he has right now at this moment. Now, people outside of the FBA culture, they may have ran with the pedophile narrative, but that narrative had kind of been spent before in rap beefs, and it's not as solid as you would imagine. It's the whole, he had a perfect storm created with the political climate at the time, the cultural climate at the time. You have a whole FBA movement going on that he kind of played into because he is a genius. So I would say that based on that, on this immaculate conception of events, he is the GOAT of the conscious community right now. That is not the GOAT of the complete rap community, as he is only relevant to who actually listens and as a conscious person. You may have a younger crowd that may consider NBA YoungBoy as the GOAT right now. Or you may have people that consider Moneybagg Yo as the GOAT right now. And when I say GOAT right now, I mean people that are actually rapping, because we all know that Andre 3000, Jadakiss, Redman, and the list goes on of the great GOATs that are still living. So based on the current relevant context of everything that is going on, Kendrick Lamar has been solidified as the GOAT of the conscious community simply because of the Drake beef and the Super Bowl appearance. He played it all right he got his cards dealt and he played his hand right. I would not have considered Kendrick Lamar as the GOAT. I would have considered him as a GOAT right now, but not the GOAT, because I simply feel like Drake has a more extensive catalog. Not just Drake, but there's a lot of other artists that has more success in that era, in that lane. Kendrick has his own niche. He's deep, but J. Cole is also deep. But J. Cole kind of let the people down by throwing his bricks and then hiding his hand. We expected J. Cole to smoke another rapper exactly the way that he said on his song. So since he chickened out, there's no honor in chickening out. We want to see a king go to war. We wanted to see that battle. So I'm going to have to, unfortunately, I really wanted to see J. Cole and him go back and forth. I wouldn't have mind for him to have killed K-Dot on a track, but since it didn't happen, he forfeits the title as far as I'm concerned. Drake, I actually feel like Drake was going hard, especially with that drop and Give Me 50. And then when he backdoored and used the Tupac and the Snoop Dogg voice and all of that, he started whining on the last track back, that really is what lost it for me with him. At that point, I actually considered Drake winning the battle. I know a lot of people love the They Not Like Us. I believe that the song is good, but it was not great, honestly. And it just carried the echoes and the political and cultural things of the time. He did everything perfectly to where it played in his favor, but there's not too much in that song that stands out to me except the part about him saying that Drake still calling us slaves, and all of those stuff. He talked about the guys in his crew or whatever, but who knows if that's true or not, because you can say anything these days and people will just run off with the narrative. If you repeat a lie long enough, it eventually seems to become true in some sort of way. So I'm not going with that. I also understand that Kendrick Lamar has a lot of co-signing in the form of Snoop Dogg, who actually helped to lift off his career in the beginning, who also came out right after the Super Bowl performance and said that Cuz is the GOAT. So, just because he says it doesn't really make it substantial either for me. Also, my boy Tariq Nasheed, I love that guy from the FBA movement, but he also helped to parachute Kendrick Lamar's song They Not Like Us and his movement by them all being from California, and also with the reparations debate that Tariq Nasheed had about a year ago, and he actually used Kendrick's song, which actually helped to push the fame even further. It's a real interesting dynamic here. People are talking about it. My take is that he is the GOAT of the conscious community at the moment. I particularly prefer more of a Joyner Lucas as the choice, but I do not believe he has an extensive enough catalog to be considered, which is why the big three, I believe in the conscious community, they're saying Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole. I would have to add, personally, Big Crit into the mix. And there are a lot of others, but based on how it all played out, yeah, he would be the GOAT right now. I particularly don't endorse the way it all happened, but what can you say? He's here now. He has the conscious crown, and we'll see how long it lasts. All right, guys, I would love to get your opinions on this subject matter. Please leave your opinions and thoughts in the comments. Please don't forget to like the video. I am Twaun X. This is the Double Take Podcast, and I will talk to you guys soon. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to get immediate notifications of my future videos.